What's up? I can't do intros. What's up, YouTube? So if you watched my bonus live stream on Saturday, you will have seen me completely tilt off once I realized I had to redo this fight on hard mode.
Flashback.
My Brumal form didn't work?
End of flashback.
This is the Can't Stop, Won't Stop Shinra Manager Coliseum Challenge, which has some of the most bullshit fights in the game. So starting off with these double Cactuars is annoying as hell to deal with. So we kind of get Earth into a safe spot where she's not getting hit by the giant Cactuars. So we can set up ATB Ward and Arcane Ward. Basically setting up this kind of like safe spot to cast spells. I mean, I guess technically not safe, but that's kind of the point. So now when we start casting spells over here, offensive spells that is, we'll get those doubled up, and Yuffie standing in this circle will also help build up ATB on everyone else. And here we see the Needle Rain. But the really important thing to do is to interrupt it, and kind of what I figured out was Arrow from Yuffie pulls them in is a really good way to interrupt them, because it kind of goes off immediately. So we have... oh, Aerith died there. We have Swift Cast on our Arrow on Yuffie in order to make sure this goes. And we can see we have the other Cactuar stopped is kind of how... like, the best way to manage these Cactuars is to have one of them kind of stop to stagger when they go for the rain, and then you see we used Arrow there to kind of pull that Cactuar in. So that way it's not sitting away and doing a shit ton of damage. And then again, we pulled out of the rain. We're kind of getting fucked up by the second one here, but we're enough to deal with the first Cactuar, and then once we have one down, the second one gets a lot easier. Again, just interrupting it so that way it can't attack, which will get the stagger, and then from there, Tifa, the stagger queen, just does a bunch of damage, and then we can use Aerith to finish it off once the stagger damage has been built up. Again, having these wards here make it so you can actually get all of these extra spells off. Yep. So that's how we kind of figure out how to get through that one. I've had cleaner runs through it, like without having someone die, but no Needle Rains is... honestly, that might just make it the cleanest. And then for the Cactuars, for the Tonberries, fortunately, if we set up Arcane Ward and then ATB boost, although you can see here I didn't click the ATB boost button. The Magnify Big Fire spell actually just does enough damage to get some of them dead. And enough of them are dead such that the rest is easier to manage. And we switched to Yuffie right away here, so that way when they get back up, they start targeting Yuffie, who's just really good at running away and Brumal forming through them. Kind of make sure Aerith doesn't get targeted by all of these, because Aerith has a hard time dodging all these flying projectiles, because they do move actually pretty quickly. And here we're just using Yuffie's Boomerang or Ninja Star, I guess, to deal with all of it. We have a ribbon on Yuffie, so this also helps, because even if we get hit by those, we'll do fine. And the nice thing is, we're just kind of planking them down, playing safe, so we can make sure we go into the next round with basically full resources. Yeah, because with the extra HP and MP healing here, we should be completely full. Which will make the... what's the name of this bird? Yeah, the Ember Zoo. Again, switch to Aerith, kind of get set up. Get her somewhere safe, and then Arcane Ward, ATB boost, and then we can start launching spells. And the nice thing about this guy is that it's really easy to pressure him with the Blizzaga. It's like, there's the pressure, and then we go Tifa to try to get the stagger. I kind of get hit here when I don't need to, but we get the stagger and then boost up that stagger percentage. What I actually mean to do here is... Yeah, you can see me trying to figure out what to do with Yuffie. What I really should do here is just Aerith, build up the ATB, go back into the ward, which the Blizzard will still get the kill here. We're just taking longer than we actually need to do it. Yep, this is the single target Blizzard. And then blink down the extra damage there. And again, that wave's the easiest wave, especially with this setup. Now we're on to the bullshit one, which this one's going to take a while to get through, because the Frog and the Double Joker. The Jokers are really annoying because individually they're really easy to avoid everything they do, but there's so much going on in this fight with two of them and the Frog that you make one mistake and you just die out of nowhere. Yeah, because like I'm getting hit by the Soul Sucker here, which is just not good. Because when they click the Soul Sucker, if they hit it, they start drawing cards. Yeah, you can see Aerith's already dead. So like this fight was very much not clean. And this is the fight that has actually been giving me the most trouble. Off stream, this took like 2 hours worth of playing. Not quite 2, because there were some breaks in between it, but the recording's 2 hours. So probably closer to like an hour and a half of actually playing. And this was the fight I was struggling with.
Good to go.
You can see me bouncing back and forth between characters trying to figure out what to do here. At this point, we have everyone alive. We just kind of want to play safe. The giant toad's kind of annoying to try to stagger. It's like I can hit its tongue. But, yep. You can see I like did one spell at a not great time, and then now both of these guys are going to kill us. Yeah, and then the Frog combos us. And then I'm gonna get Aerith killed here. So we switch to Tifa. Get that Arise off.
Can you fight?
But here, it's mostly just running around trying to build ATB without getting hit by these Soul Suckers. And like, I try going to Aerith to get damage on the tongue. So like, I can click the Blizzard here, but it's going to get Aerith killed. Like, 100% of the time. Yep, so there's the Aerith death, and we get the pressure, but without Cloud, it's really hard to punish the pressures with just Tifa and Yuffie. It's like we have no ATB, we have to keep playing it safe, so like, we got the pressure, but it ended up not mattering. We didn't really build any other stagger. So really this fight just comes down to building up limit and just continually arising our characters because we keep getting them killed. Barely dodged that flat in there. But we can see on the bottom right, we're slowly building up that limit on Tifa. Yep. And like you get hit once and it just kind of like combos into everything. Fortunately, we're able to Brumal Form out of there and not get full comboed into death. Here I'm just arrowing to try to interrupt the card draw from one of the Jokers. And Tifa procs Reprieve, so that's kind of like our one free life on Tifa. But Meteor Strikes on the Frog to try to get it taken care of. It's not going to kill, but We'll have to try to build up another limit. Actually, I'm pretty sure here is where shit really starts to go wrong. Yeah, Aerith and Yuffie both died to whatever card draw. I think it was a Joker card is what happened. Fortunately, both of the Jokers were in that Meteor Strikes AoE, but we're just forced to run around until we can find a safe opportunity to revive. We're actually really lucky to not die there. Both of the Jokers were in end lag from Soulsucker. Otherwise, we definitely would have just gotten comboed with the Toad and the Jokers. Yeah, you see we have Tifa back on 1 HP again. So we kind of like panic healing Wind to try to keep Tifa alive.
Someone looks kind of shaky.
Because as long as we can get Tifa to another limit break, which Tifa just kind of gets there by getting hit as the AI. You can see I tried to dodge out from the Joker attack and it just didn't work. But another Meteor Strikes to try to get this Toad dead. Which, if I remember correctly, this does not kill. Yeah, this just gets the stagger. And then it's just kind of like, okay, no, we have to just kind of get the thing dead here. Fortunately, the Toad kind of body blocked the Soulsucker. Otherwise, I think we would have just lost there. Yeah, and you can see here, I tried to dive kick, but for some reason, I thought dive kick, like, hit further. Like, it does not... Like, I thought it went further up and at a shallower angle forward. But that might have been in Remake. Or I'm just completely talking out my ass. But I definitely thought that would gap close a little bit more. And here we're choosing to revive Tifa. It's a little bit awkward because Tifa doesn't have enough MP to do a revive. But we just want to build up that limit on Tifa again. And Yuffie, we have the limit support. So Yuffie's not building up any limit. Like, obviously she's dead right now, so she's not building up anything. But the reason why she has nothing, even though she's dead, is because it's all being siphoned into the other teammates. Kind of makes it easier to just suck everything from Aerith with Limit Siphon. So yeah, we get Aerith killed to get Yuffie back in, so it's like damned both ways, but at least here we can start planking down from across the map. And this should finally get the Giant Toad, and then once the Giant Toad's dead... Yeah, I think we were trying to decide whether or not to heal or try to kill the Giant Toad, and if we had the Banishment 3, we would have just ripped it. Fortunately, Tifa has another limit, so we just ripped that on one of the Jokers, and if I recall correctly, yeah, the frog tries to go in for the flatten on Tifa, and just like runs into the limit and dies to it. So now we're at the point where our allies should be finishing off the other Joker. So yeah, you see we banished that one to get the damage. Yep, and then that Joker died. You see me turn the camera around because I was kind of confused. I thought it was still alive. And then here we summon Titan to just help DPS down this last one. But that's the hard fight, is the double Joker frog. I died to a lot. I died to that one a lot.
Don't let me down. If you insist. Go on.
And then... Yeah, this thing should die here soon. Just gonna have to... Just playing safe, trying to heal up. Make it so that way we have the best possible outcome going into the next fight. Yeah, we spend some more mana there just to make sure. Okay, we're recording. I was terrified I wasn't recording for a second there. Once this loads, here we go. And then the Ironclad. Fortunately, this thing's not too scary. It just hits hard. But when there's only one enemy you have to worry about, it's really easy to just kind of overwhelm it with reviving your teammates. So we'll see here. I'll end up building up the ability to deal a bunch of damage with these thunders. But actually, I just get Aerith killed there immediately. So the stun requirement on this guy is he does sharpen, and then after he sharpens, he gets pressured. Unfortunately, without Cloud, it's difficult to turn pressures into staggers. Because Tifa's Focus Strike, I guess I need to like actually be dodging shit with it, but yeah, the Focus Strike does not do as much stagger or like the pressure damage as Cloud's Focus Thrust. And Yuffie and Aerith are also just like naturally not, they just don't have bonus pressured, like bonus stagger damage. It's like here I try the Thunderous Banishment just to get as much pressure as possible, because if it becomes unpressured, it does a one-shot kill attack. But even with a double cast Thundara, you can see it's doing barely anything, even with the Focus Strikes. We get Tifa hit on the like backswing from the attack. And then, yeah, Arawa does a bunch of damage. And then we're just gonna end up face tanking. You can see me here being like, where'd my Thunderous Banishment go? I used it on a level 2 and it did nothing. So you see here, we're Curaing. We'll end up dodging this gravity. I loved the, or no. Sorry, it's a later gravity that comes to us. That one puts Aerith on 1 HP. Yep, you see, here's the blade. Despite my best efforts, really all I did was just make sure my teammates didn't get hit in the blast radius of it. And then fortunately, it just goes back to normal. And so like this is kind of where I was talking. As long as we can make sure only one person's getting hit at a time, it's pretty easy to just continually revive teammates against the Ironclad. Again, it's a lot easier to beat this thing with Cloud, but it was a lot easier to beat the other waves with this party. And plus, this is the party I'm going to end up using on the brutal challenges. So it's good to get practice in with these characters. Although we will have a quite a bit different setup when we get to those ones. And you can see here me still looking at the Thunderous Banishment, trying to decide what am I supposed to do in order to build up that. And then because I'm clicking buttons, the shooting star like didn't come out that quickly. So here I'm just waiting to see who the Fyagra is going into before I click the Thunderous Banishment button. Oh no. Right, I used Punishment because I had 3 MP on Yuffie, so I wanted to make sure Yuffie would have the ability to revive. So here we teleport Aerith. I was going to go for a Thunder, but I realized, oh, I have no mana. Or no ATB. I have plenty of mana on Aerith. So we do this, which will let Yuffie click a Rise. And then here we dodge the gravity, just kind of roll out of it. But it should be pretty clear here that we're just gonna kill this Ironclad without actually staggering it. We're just gonna kind of damage through it. We actually managed to not even build up a limit either. Yep, Fortunes Untold obtained. Thank God. That fight was not fun, and I'm pretty sure earlier in this video I already played the clip of me tilting off the edge of the world. But we got it. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys on stream for finishing off the hard mode story, and then we just have some brutal fights left to do.